Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Here's the most important stimulus news that you have to know. Stay tuned in this video to find out the most important stimulus information. We all know that President Biden did promise $2,000 stimulus checks if Democrats win the Senate. And many of you guys are wondering how much the next round of payments will be. Well, Biden's team and Democratic leadership have focused on a more modest fourth stimulus package, but there's a push for sending Americans to a full $2,000 more. Now, Ocasio-Cortez told the Washington Post that she believes that Biden needs to go bigger on stimulus checks. As Newsweek reported, the White House has just sent 2 letters signed by 26 Democrats, pushing for the enactment of so-called automatic stabilizers. Automatic stabilizers would help lawmakers avoid negotiations tied to each relief package. One possibility is to use unemployment as a stabilizer, though any economic indicator might work. With legislation that includes unemployment as an automatic stabilizer, the number of jobless Americans who fell below a predetermined level would cause a relief payment to be sent out automatically. What are your thoughts on the fourth stimulus checks, everybody? Tell me in the comments below.
Hallowed halls of Congress, House, and Senate, and his tireless advocacy as an elder statesman. Over the course of his storied career, he earned a reputation as a fighter for hardworking American families, a leader who could be trusted as a man of his word. Working in a bipartisan way, Senator Dole addressed hunger in America by expanding food stamps, fought for respect for people with disabilities by enshrining essential protections into the law with the ADA, again in a bipartisan way. He taught us over time and all the time to respect people for what they can do and not judge them for what they cannot. He advocated for our troops, veterans, and hidden heroes who care for them, especially alongside his beloved wife, Elizabeth. Indeed, the love, partnership, and prayerfulness that Senators Bob and Elizabeth Dole shared was a joy to behold and a blessing to all of us who know them.
Thank you, Governor Janet Mills. It's good to see you, and thank you for your leadership and your friendship. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to join leaders from around the world as we conclude the first day of the Summit for Democracy. As I have discussed with many of you, I believe our world is at the start of a new era, an era with new challenges, an era with new opportunities, an era that is defined by interconnection and interdependence. In this new era, I believe that democracy is our world's best hope, not because it is perfect, but because of its principles, because it delivers for the people. Democracy protects human rights and promotes human dignity. It is a means to create peace and prosperity. It is a means to solve our greatest challenges, from COVID-19 to the climate crisis. It is, then, of particular concern, of urgent concern, that democracy is presently under threat and for 15 years has been on the decline. Around the world, autocrats have become emboldened. Human rights violations have multiplied, and corruption is undermining progress. And misinformation is undermining public confidence. And so it is incumbent on each of us, individually and collectively, to take action. Here in the United States, we know that our democracy is not immune from threats. January 6th looms large in our collective conscience, and the anti-voter laws that many states have passed are part of an intentional effort to exclude Americans from participating in our democracy. In our democracy, in every democracy, a representative government is foundational, and the right to vote is fundamental. And so, ensuring every eligible American can access that right is a top priority for our administration, and an effort that I am proud to lead. We know that the right to vote cannot be taken for granted. At every turn, it must be safeguarded.
Underwater canyons as deep as parts of the Grand Canyon, and underwater mountains as tall as the Appalachians. There's nothing like it in the world.
Everybody, the new child tax credit payments could lead to 1.5 million Americans leaving the workforce, and Congress may not pass the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill ever. Everybody, this is your fourth stimulus check update and news report, and be sure to stay to the end of this video to find out the latest news about the fourth stimulus check. Now, the expanded child tax credit has already had an impact since it began delivering monthly stimulus checks in July to families with children ages 17 and under, with an immediate reduction in hardship. But a debate is rising over President Biden's plan to extend a tax credit through 2025, with some questioning whether the payments could convince some parents to drop out of the workforce. Now, economists are pushing back on ending the federal child tax credit payments. They said that there's no evidence that the child tax credit payments have impacted work participation among parents. And the economist research comes on the heels of a suggestion from Senator Joe Manchin that the expanded tax credit could include a work requirement. Under the American Rescue Plan, the child tax credit was expanded from $2,000 per child to as much as $3,600 per child, with half the credit arriving in the form of monthly checks from July to December of 2021. Now, parents don't need to work to receive the tax credit and its monthly payments. It's an entitlement based on family income, and questions about the structure of the child tax credit are arising as lawmakers debate Biden's wide-ranging Families Plan, the American Families Plan that is, which would extend the expanded tax credit through 2025, because the earlier version of the child tax credit required families to have a tax liability. In other words, to earn money and owe taxes on it, to receive the full credit that provided a form of work incentive. Because the prior child tax credit required that parents earn money to receive the full credit. It mainly helped families earning more than $50,000, rather than families with kids living in poverty. Anti-poverty advocates say the old child tax credit structure means that the tax credit missed the children who most needed the help, and kids whose parents had very low or no income. But economists forecast that some parents may opt out of the workforce if given ongoing payments without any strings attached, especially lower income parents. One economist said that he supports Manchin's idea of a work requirement because the old child tax credit had a strong work incentive. Now, everybody, in a recent tweet, Democratic Representative Maxine Waters, part of the influential House Financial Services Committee, said housing is everything. She wants to also see affordable housing remain a priority in the pared down Build Back Better agenda. Senate Democrats just want to see anything and make into law. They fear that failure to pass either the Build Back Better bill or a $1.2 trillion infrastructure package could indicate to the American people that Democrats are incapable of governing when in control of both the White House and both chambers of Congress. It is not lost on Democrats that they used precisely that argument to wrest the House from Republican control in the 2018 congressional midterms. Frustration has been mounting at both ends